without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause.
What a voice. Can you believe it was 20 years ago on the American Idol stage when Clay Aiken and Ruben Studdard had millions, yes, millions of viewers on the edge of their seats in the season 2 finale? I sure do. Now, these two made Idol history, and 2 decades later, they are still captivating audiences with their live tour, which makes a stop in Calgary this Friday night at the Jack Singer Concert Hall. And here to chat about the tour marking the milestone year is Clay Aiken, one half of this dynamic duo. Thank you so much, Clay, for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having us.
No problem at all.
I guess I'm here by myself. I usually have Ruben with me.
That's true. Yes.
He's, I guess, rehearsing today. I don't know.
He's there in spirit with you.
Yes.
You know what? I'm just recollecting 20 years. I actually remember the finale, watching it, and it came back like just flooding memories. How about you? Is the memory of that whole season and the whole experience still very vivid for you?
It is. There's a lot of, it was such a seminal part of our lives. Obviously, it changed the trajectory of the life of everyone who was on it. So I can still put myself back in quite a few of those moments, and the ones that I can't, Ruben can. We have this perfect symmetry between our memories. The things that I can't remember, he can remember, and vice versa. So we really are able to kind of recreate that whole year on stage.
So let's go back. So there were over 38 million people who tuned in to that finale. 124 million votes were cast for the finale. Whether you're a Team Clay, Team Ruben, it didn't matter, because here you guys are 20 years later touring, the friendship, the bond. Tell us about that.
You know, I think it had a lot to do with the fact that we were on in a season, the first season that Idol blew up in general. I mean, it was the season 1 here in the U.S. was had a decent enough viewership that they were renewed, but it was still not this juggernaut that it would become, not only here, but we came and got to be a part of Canadian Idol as well. So it became this huge juggernaut in season 2. And since we didn't know what we had in store for us, we didn't have the stakes, so to speak. So we signed up and we showed up at the show and the auditions and whatnot. We didn't realize that it had a potential to change our lives. So we were never very competitive with the other folks on our season. And for that reason, Ruben and I just became friends. We had a great time. We enjoyed what was happening. Even in the final few weeks, when we had started to understand, oh, wow, people are watching this show, we didn't realize that it was going to end up changing our lives forever. So I don't think we ever had that competition between the two of us that other seasons subsequently did.
That's right. Just a few people were watching the show at that time when you two were on. And I do want to touch on that bond between the two of you. What was it about the two of you that just clicked musically as friends? And then, you know, over the years, you've continued to go on tour and reconnect and just, you know, make beautiful music together.
Well, opposites attract, I guess, because we did right away. We sort of became, we sort of singled each other out, even in the early rounds of the audition process that weren't even televised, that you know, there was something about the other that we just kind of wanted to hang out with and be friendly with. And we both are very, very deeply in love with where we're from, him, Alabama, me, North Carolina. And so we had this friendly rivalry. We probably were more competitive about our home states than we were about Idol. And that kind of gelled the bond. And then just over the past 20 years, there are very, very few people, if any, really, who went through the same thing that we did. You know, we went through almost 20 weeks together on that show and had our lives change overnight in ways that we didn't expect it. Like I said, again, the first season, Kelly and Justin, you know, their show, Kelly's success was only driven in part because of Idol, because it was 9 million viewers. Ours was totally driven by Idol because we had 40 million viewers. So there was no one else who has experienced the same thing that we have. And I think that strengthens the bond too.
I think you're absolutely right, because the dynamic that you two had on Idol and the way it just carried out after Idol, I don't think we've ever seen that with any other competitors. But that being said, it's now 20 years. It's the tour. It's rolling into Calgary this Friday. How did that all come about?
I had stopped performing for a while. I kind of let it take a very, very, very far back seat, and I got sort of interested in doing something again with Ruben, perhaps. We did a show on Broadway together in 2018. That was the first time I had performed in years. And then after that, since then, he's been wanting to do something together again. And he reminded me a year ago, he was like, it's going to be 20 years. We should do something. And I thought, okay, if there's a time to go back out on the road, that's it. To remind people I'm not dead yet. So he talked me into it by saying, listen, it's been 2 decades. We should celebrate it.
I think it's a great idea. And I feel like this is going to be a very nostalgic night. What can fans expect?
Yeah, that's really what we kind of try to double down on. Even the music that you hear as you're walking into the theater or during intermission, it's all, my mic came off. It's all music from from 2003. So all hits of 2003. We try to really put people back in that time frame. And we talk about stories of what happened to us while we were on the show, how we chose certain songs, people we met and worked with. I mean, we really try to recreate the magic of 2003. And it's all it's like what Idol did best. It's all songs that you can sing along to. The audiences are singing with us and dancing with us. I mean, people are hopping up and dancing in the aisles throughout all the shows that we've done. And it's what Idol did great. It is music that you remember and you want to sing along with. And that's what this whole show is.
Well, you guys are going to have a great time at the Jack Singer Concert Hall. Clay Aiken, thank you so very much for joining us, and have a great time when you're back in Calgary. Thank you again.
Will do. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
And you can see Clay and Ruben this Friday night, again at the Jack Singer Concert Hall. For more information, go online to artscommons.ca or rubenandclay.com. And you can connect with them on their website or find them on Instagram.